and today we have a very special episode because we are having an open discussion about topics involving youth. So first, before we get started, I'm going to introduce ourselves. Well, everybody's going to introduce ourselves, and then let's get started. So I'm Melody. Go that way.
I'm Elton.
I'm Amon.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Janisha.
I'm Kanaya.
I'm Adriana.
All right, so let's get started. Y'all excited?
Yeah.
Okay, so did everybody start school yet? Everybody started school? We all in school?
Yeah.
So what grade is everybody in? So I'm a sophomore. You in 8th grade? 8th grade, okay.
I'm a sophomore in high school.
I'm a senior in high school.
I'm a freshman in college.
I'm a sophomore.
I'm in 8th grade.
Okay.
I'm a freshman.
Okay. So, yeah, so on the topic of school, let's just talk about like how school is for everybody else. So for me, it's okay, I guess. Like, you know, like it's kind of ghetto. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, but it was kind of confusing on the first day of school because it was big. Like the school was big and stuff like that. But I mean, it's not that hard anymore. I didn't have to use my schedule on the second day because, you know, I'm smart like that. So yeah. So we can go to AJ next.
I love school. It's my favorite part of the day, and I get good grades.
Well, you know, as a senior and everything, I just feel like this year, the only thing that's really different is like the amount of responsibilities you have. I'm also in band, I'm a section leader, so I gotta take care, well not take care of, but I just gotta watch out and just have more responsibilities for the freshmen on my line, the sophomores, everything like that. And I say the most frustrating thing about it is that my class is really the only class in the school that's really been in high school before because of quarantine and everything like that. But other than that, it's been pretty good.
I feel superior to everyone as a freshman in college.
So,
Shut up. I'm older than all the high schoolers and younger than all the mistakes of the past generation. Thank you. I love college.
High school it's cool, I guess. It's ghetto. It's always fights like every day. I kind of still gotta use my schedule because I be getting lost. Like I know where I'm going, but I go to the wrong classroom. I did that like twice this week. But other than that, school, it's alright.
School good. I just gotta learn how to keep my mask on. That's about it.
School is alright, but for a freshman it's difficult. And then everybody in the hallway don't be trying to help you find your classes.
Yeah. So as we mentioned before, a lot of people said that they thought that school was ghetto. So can we imply on why we think school is ghetto? Well, for me, it's because it's just like a lot of the kids are like immature and stuff like that. Like people be fighting over stupid stuff. Like they be disrespecting the teachers for nothing. And it's literally like the second week of school. Like we just got here and stuff like that. But then other than that, I feel like it's okay. Yeah, so we can pass it down to Sarah.
To be honest, it's kind of like the same way, except like we having fights on the first, second. It's like fights like almost every day. People talk ghetto. They get mad over the most stupidest things. They don't even care about mental illness. Yeah.
Well, I live in the suburbs, so it's not really ghetto. I don't really know what to say. My school doesn't fight that much, so yeah.
can you give me the one? Thank you. I don't really consider my school to be ghetto, to be honest with you. I have been there for 4 years, so maybe I'm just kind of used to it. But that's all I really gotta say.
My school isn't ghetto, it's racist.
It's racist?
Yeah.
Okay, we can get into that we can get into that because
I said my school is ghetto because we have like 2 or 3 fights every day, literally, and it's only like the second week of school. All the dudes there, they weird. the kids, they weird. I feel like my school got their priorities all messed up because they worry about what we wearing instead of like, you know, like the school is not clean, the lunch nasty. You get 2 options every day and both of them nasty. The pizza tastes like wheat. The chips always stale. Like, my school is just ghetto messed up.
My school is not even ghetto for real. It's just the kids that's in it.
The only thing that I can say is ghetto about my school is they lunch.
Okay, so Whitney made a statement about her school being racist, and actually, I kind of, well, I don't think the school necessarily is racist because it's like predominantly Mexicans and blacks at my school, black people. I didn't black. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it. See, now y'all think I'm racist. I didn't mean it like that. But it was this one teacher, y'all. Let me tell y'all. So we was in class, right? And like is it pronounced economics? Economics. Okay, so he was like, go get the economic books, right? So then that's when one of the kids, like, they had started mocking him or whatever. So then they was like echo or something like that. So then that's when he was like, you know what you sound like, ooh ah ah. I'm like that's kind of racist. I'm like, but other than that, I don't think nobody is like really racist. Everybody else is kind of cool, I guess. So
Was it Windorf?
Is it? He knew. He used to teach at Thornridge.
He needs to go back to Thorn.
That's what I said.
Listen, are you serious?
Yes.
And no one beat him up. They fight all the other teachers in that
I don't think
school.
nobody caught on to it until like.
How you not? Ooh, and you're black. How do you not see the? Anyway, well, I don't even know why I have this.
You know what?
Listen, man, I have a question for you.
Okay, yeah.
The lunch.
The lunch?
Yeah, you tried them cookies yet, bro?
They got cookies?
Yes.
No.
Do they not have the cookies no more? What? You ain't tried the cookies? Yeah, it's like $1. It's like $1.
Oh no, I ain't trying. They good?
Yeah, that's the best thing they got.
Oh wait, can I speak on lunch? Actually.
No.
I want to speak on the racism.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, going back to what Melody said about her story about her teacher, I feel like, and just what you said too about them not really doing anything about it, being someone who goes to a predominantly black school, but is in a predominantly white school district, you can find a lot of the times that it's extremely hard to get anything done about the racism issue because there's so many teachers and there's so many students in these schools that do not care about their black population or the Mexican population, and they're racist on purpose, and you can't really do anything about it. And you see it in the general makeup of the school itself. I've been to, I think, every single band room in every school in my district, and none of them look as terrible as ours do. Ours is small, most of the time it's dirty. The custodians barely ever clean it. There's no spaces for any students to actually do any type of sectionals productively or anything like that. The band teacher barely has an office, but you go to, I'm gonna say something like Bremen, their band room is literally huge, and not only is it huge, but they have multiple. And even their field houses that we just got installed last year is, one, they spent way more money on it than we do at ours, and it's extremely bigger. And the way the teachers behave, it's not appropriate to the black audience. And it's just like, it just kind of makes you wonder, like, how are we supposed to feel comfortable as people of color in these spaces when our district isn't doing anything about it?
Man, that's a really good point. And then that falls into like systematic racism that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Like, you go to other schools that might be like deep into the suburbs, and their stuff is nice and like it's more funded than schools, you know, like CPS schools or other schools like that. All right, so our next subject, what I actually want to talk about, is extracurricular activities. So when I was about like in 7th grade, 8th grade, Keyshawn, my brother, the person behind the camera, he was in band, so I would always have to go on his trips with him, like their performances and stuff like that. I would always have to go, and I would always see like the band performing and like the majorettes and stuff like that. I was like, oh, I want to do that. But then, you know, like around like quarantine and stuff like that, like they had like practices and stuff, and like I was nervous, like I didn't know if I wanted to do it because I didn't think I could do it. So this year I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be scared anymore. I'm not gonna walk in fear. I'm gonna have faith and do it. So I tried out, y'all, and I got on the team. I didn't even think I was gonna make it, but I made it, y'all. Thank you. But yeah, but then like we got to band camp and it got so hard. I'm like, they had us running laps at like 5 in the morning. It was so early. No, it wasn't like 5. It was like 10 in the morning, but like it was like 10 in the morning. But yeah, it was just a lot of work. It was like so much work. And like we had to learn so many dances and stuff like that. And it got like kind of tiresome, but I still had to do it. And then that's when school started. So I have school from 8 to 3 each day. Then I have practice from 3:30 to 5. And it's like, it's so exhausting sometimes because I be so tired and like working hard and stuff like that. And it's like, it's just a lot. But I think I can do it. I'm just really excited for the season, all of the football games, all of the performances and homecoming and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So anybody else want to go?
Speak out, Jeremy.
I started playing basketball when I was in 5th grade. I made the freshman team, so I'm gonna try out for the sophomore team. Yeah.
Outside, well, inside of school, there's no extracurricular activities except for sports like basketball or football or even volleyball. And since he doesn't have music, I just call school an uncultured swine. But, you know, I do practice at home and do guitar lessons in the district. So, yeah.
Why are you handling this like this? I'm in band for the most part. I've been doing music, I want to say, since 4th grade. Like I said, this year I became section leader. And nothing else. Oh, and I play tennis. I'm tennis manager for the girls team right now. But other than that, nothing else has really started yet. But I do think commenting on what Sarah said, I do think like trying to talk about the conversation of why sports are allowed but no other extracurriculars are allowed would be a good topic too.
Yeah, so Sarah said why sports. Oh, somebody else want to go? Oh, y'all in any extracurricular activities? No sports, nothing? All right. So can you repeat what Sarah said? Why she said why sports are allowed and not any other?
It was like she said that there were no other extracurricular activities going on except for sports. So I was wondering, like, why is that a thing?
Bro, I got you.
Because I feel like that's a good conversation.
Listen, that happened last year when, like, band was first starting to go back in person when I was still in high school or whatever. I'm pretty sure they only let sports come back and, like, not really anything else because they see that as, like, the money makers because that's what brings in money from, like, the games and stuff like that, and that's how they get more recognition for, like, their school because they're like, oh, look at this school. They have, like, the best basketball team. I'm going to send my kid here so if scouts come, then they can have a better opportunity. But people don't really think about, like, bless you. I'm talking. And people don't really think about, like, bands or, like, art clubs and stuff like that because it's not really seen as important, which is dumb because it's like, I'm expressing myself. This is, like, I have opportunities. I just got to work harder towards it. Like, it's not as out there as, like, a sport would be.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point too. And like, yeah, it's like mainly like favoritism towards like which extracurricular activity will be done. Yeah, basically what you say. You made a lot of really good points. And I feel like it shouldn't be like that. Because if you're going to have one thing, then you should also have another thing. Because how many people is it on a football team? Usually, like, ain't it like a lot?
Like 60,
50, 60 or something. And that's causing more people, plus the coaches and plus like the other parents and the managers and people. So that's causing a lot of people to come together on the other side, you have like art clubs and like music classes with only like 5 or 6 to 10 people, when that's causing less people to be there. So it's like, which one will most likely to cause COVID or spread it faster,
I also just want to say that, like, I don't understand, like, why, like, for sports, like, people make millions off of music and stuff. And, like, Whitney said, like, you could express yourself through music. And I just don't think that's, like, fair for, like, people who, like, even in school, when they say they want to have, like, a basketball career or a football career, they always ask, well, what's your backup plan? But, like, if the only thing you have is sports inside of school, like, what's the point of saying that? I just don't think it's, like, really important.
Do you have anything to comment on it, athlete?
I agree with what Sarah said. It's not fair. And, yeah, if you're doing other stuff than just sports, you should get the same recognition as somebody who is playing sports.
As another athlete myself, like Sarah and AJ said, I understand like the need for sports, especially in high school settings. But even still, as teenagers, it's important to, with our growth, you have to develop every part of your own personality, and that may be playing basketball, or that may be going to art class or photography. But you can't leave one door open but leave all the rest closed and then act like it's just not an issue, because that's your student's creativity, and the mind of a young person is just, it's too fragile of a thing for you to not try to, or just try to take away something like that.
I mean,
Does anybody else have any input about?
I feel like a lot of schools is depend on what they think will bring the most attention to the school. So they put all their money or anything into football or basketball when there's other programs that can be supported too. But because it's not bringing as much attention, that it's not. Also, just as a person who's in band, and our school got a lot of recognition, like go T-Birds or whatever. Wait, what? Wait. I'm watching. It was, I found it a bit odd that even though the band was like a couple of reasons why people knew about the school, like, shut up. A lot of people knew about like that specific school district and such, then I just found it weird that all the money was going towards like the football team and they barely won a football game. Yeah, it's just it was weird that even when like the sports team isn't exactly the moneymaker or bringing attention to the school, schools are still more willing to pay like those teams to go out and go to games, even though they're just losing and wasting the money essentially. Like, I haven't seen that football team win a game that wasn't in a rank lower than them.
I feel like that could also be said for just the difference in the way boys sports team are treated than girls too, because I know the volleyball team in my school, they aren't the best, of course, but not of course they aren't the best, but they're a good team generally. The tennis girls team is a good team too, but they haven't, and even like some smaller boys teams like the golf team or the boys tennis team in my school, the way that they're treated compared to the boys football team or the boys basketball team, you can see the level of difference in importance that's not only just in the school itself, but just in the district. A lot of the uniforms that the boys and the girls tennis team have, and the volleyball team and the girls basketball team, they're old, they're dirty, nobody wants them. The crowds that come out for these games are like very minimal compared to the football team and the basketball team. And it's just like, even like recently, I'm not going to get too much on them because it was a good team that they played against, but recently the football team lost hard. The varsity team, they lost hard against one of the predominantly white schools in the area, And I just know it's not gonna have a damper on their reputation whatsoever. Nobody's gonna care. They're gonna talk about them for like maybe a couple days or so, but after that, they just going right back to supporting them. They're gonna get whatever they want, and it's just like, not to complain too much, but it's how it is, and I just feel like that's kind of weird.
Yeah. It's a lot of problems, a lot of sexism, racism, favoritism, a lot of isms in the school system that needs to be fixed. So maybe we should go over to a different subject. So let's talk about lunch, school lunch. So the lunch at my school, it used to be, at my old school, it was disgusting. Like, it was so nasty. Like, I don't even think it was real food at that point. Like, I literally used to starve. Like, I didn't eat until like I got home because like the food was nasty. So when I came to high school, it was better. Like, it was better than like the food at my old school. Like, it's a different choice of variety. They be having hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza, salad. Y'all ate a salad. It was good. What else they be having? I think they be having chicken tenders or something like that. I don't know. But I like the food at Thornwood better than I did at Coolidge. Yeah. So anybody want to go next?
I'm gonna need you to take these $2 and on Friday next week, this upcoming Friday, buy me 2 of those cookies and bring them to service on Sunday.
Okay.
And I'll give you here.
Whitney, we're on camera. This is...
We're talking about food. We're talking about the lunch. That cookie is good. That's a good cookie. Here's $1 for compensation.
I don't even know where to get them from.
You go up to the line, and when they scan in your card, you're like, "Can I have a cookie, please?" And you give them the money.
Which side?
Any side.
I don't see the cookies.
They hide them under like.
How about they hide them? Why
Y'all
they
have
hiding
this
them?
conversation later.
Shut up. We're talking about the good lunch. The lunch is good. The lunch is busting.
At
I
your
saw you
college?
reaching.
At your college?
No, they don't have lunch.
The lunch at my school is nasty. I feel like they try to make everything so healthy now. Like, I think we only get like 3 options. We get a salad, pizza, or nachos. But you can get like chicken or beef. The beef, it tastes like soup. The chicken is better than the beef, so that's like highly recommended. But the pizza is nasty. Like, all the food disgusting. They barely give you drinks for real. I ain't tried the salad yet. It look nasty, but I'll try it. Don't eat the school lunch, y'all.
Can I say something? So, me and Janisha, we go to what's it called? Like the Thornton Township, yes. Yeah. So she goes to Thornridge, and I go to Thornwood. School district 205, gang. Yeah. So I feel like it's actually favoritism in the school districts. I feel like it goes Thornwood, Thornton, and Thornridge because Thornton. Yeah, it probably is Thornton, Thornwood, and Thornridge. I feel like Thornridge, they get the bottom of the barrel stuff. Yes. Like, their school, it's so ghetto. I'm so sorry. Like,
okay, like, I feel like my school is just so messed up. Like, I don't know if I should be saying this on camera, but I don't care. They tell us. So, my school, they be like, we can't leave food around because they be having mice and roaches and stuff in the building. And, like, that's so nasty. We couldn't get our lockers open. Like, none of the lockers work for real.
They lockers open like this, like a closet door.
The lockers, they don't open. And like the kids, they was just hotboxing the bathroom at school on like.
It's the truth. I mean, anybody else will talk about lunch? Lunch.
It's nothing really to talk about for me because, well, one, I leave before I even get to my lunch period, and 2, all they serving us right now is pizza and french fries. I don't know why, but I think it's just because we broke.
My high school, we get good lunch. We get pizza, cheeseburgers, hot dogs. We get a lot of variety of foods. But my junior high school, the lunch was horrible.
Okay, so basically, on the first day of school, when we came to lunch, they served us some trash pizza that was from Domino's, apparently, and they tried to fool us with the Domino's sign that it was like actually good, but that pizza had barbecue sauce in it with ham and onions mixed into it and cheese on top. Like, what is that? What is that garbage? So like, and then like basically every single thing there is garbage. It's disgusting, except for the fact that they serve us hot Cheetos in the back, Doritos, not cookies, brownies, and juice. Like, that's literally the only thing I get in their home, like their own made pizza. So yeah, everything is trash there.
The food at them white people schools be good. And I'm not talking about college. I'm talking about my first high school. It was delicious. They had ice, like those drinks, the ice, the little soda things. Yeah. They had that. They had Gatorade. They had it all just sitting there. It was like, they had cookies. Every school got cookies. How did you not know that?
I didn't know.
The only issue I had was every time we had Bosco sticks, the little marinara sauce was molded, and like they didn't check the expiration date or something. There was something wrong with that. But that food was good. Them white people schools, they be on it. I mean, it's like not salted enough sometimes. But
anybody else?
I had a personal chef in my old school, y'all. Yeah, we had a chef.
What school you went to?
I went to Strong. We had a chef. In Cal City.
In my old school in Indianapolis, they serve it, but when they serve it, if you don't end up getting it, they just put it in an oven thing or whatever they do, and they save it for like next week when you gotta eat the same thing over again.
Next week. That's nasty.
This is bottles. That's nasty. Food poisoning.
Okay, y'all. So we finna move on to another subject. And this one is actually a big one, as everybody knows. So how do we feel, how do y'all feel about going back to school with COVID, with the COVID? So I'm going to start. So I actually, last year, I think most of us, did everybody do online? Can y'all raise your hand if y'all did online? So that's everybody.
Am I?
Oh, you did in school? Okay, so majority of us did online. So that was the first time I had like straight A's, and it's not because I cheated or nothing like that. I swear I didn't. I put that on everything. I didn't cheat or nothing like that. And I actually learned the curriculum, and like that's crazy because it's like, how do I learn better than I did in school when I'm at home? Like, that don't make no sense. Like, make it make sense. But I actually learned better like at home. But yeah, so I was actually excited to come back to school. I think it will be, I don't know, I feel like it will be okay as long as everybody have their mask on. And like, I think most people at the school are vaccinated. I don't know, everybody use hand sanitizer and wash their hands. But some of these kids, they're not very clean. They're very nasty. So you just gotta make sure you have your own hand sanitizer, wear your mask and stuff like that. So yeah, we can go down the line.
Like, go down the line or like go down the line?
Sarah.
I'm tired.
To be honest, I never wanted to go back into the building in the first place. I liked staying at home and being by myself, just, listening on the Google Meet. I never wanted to go back into the school building, and I still hate going into the school building, and I don't feel like wearing a mask all day, and I don't want to wear a mask all day, and I hate it. And with COVID around, it's like even worse. I don't trust nobody there except for the people I've known from the previous year, because you can't trust nobody with the fact that they say, "Oh, I'm vaccinated." Okay, and I still don't believe you. So I don't really think kids are trustworthy, and they still nasty. They be having their mask down all the time for like the first day of school and everything. They be having their mask down literally all day. So it's just like, I don't feel safe.
I like in-person school. I get to see my friends I haven't seen in a while. And as long as I just wear my mask and like be healthy and be safe, I'm fine.
I feel like maybe we took it a little bit too we're being a little bit less lenient about it. My school in general, I feel like because they think that since they're high schoolers, they think, oh, they're going to be a lot more serious about this. They're going to be a lot more responsible. But it's not really like that whatsoever. So many kids either have their mask off during class, not covering their nose, always eating this, that, and the third in the hallway, leaving garbage everywhere, touching everything, not using hand sanitizer. It's a lot of stuff. And if you don't enforce it, it's also just like a lot of school protocols don't really make any sense. Like the lunchroom specifically, you have all these people gather in a line so close together trying to get their lunch, and they're going slow, so it's like it's not really any movement in that area. Plus when they leave the lunchroom, now that all they got their mask off, they're sitting directly next to each other, face to face, eating in front of their faces, they mask off everything, talking to each other loud, spitting everywhere. It's just like it's a lot of it is really counterproductive, and especially so when a lot of teachers don't even take part in the protocols either.
I don't know why people think like students of any kind are gonna wear masks when there's grown adults with kids not wearing masks and saying unmask our children. I live in a very to not be prejudiced white town. I'm very uncomfortable. They're never wearing their mask, and even though they say to wear the mask in like school, they don't. I was taking a test and a girl sneezed 3 times behind me. I wanted to run. I needed to leave. I'm scared. I don't want to catch the COVID because I got sick like 2 months ago. I couldn't move from my bed for a week. I don't know what I had, but I was dying and I did not like it. I'm terrified.
Let it go. Just let it go. Okay. Yeah, and another thing about what Amon said. What Amon said about the lunch period. I actually have 4th period lunch, so I have lunch at like 11. It's like 10 or 11. So my lunch period isn't very crowded, so it's like we have enough space to spread out so everybody isn't really like bunched up. But I know like a lot of other periods, like 8th periods, they be saying like it be packed in there, so like I can just imagine like how everybody can be sitting like right next to each other. And then like in the mornings when we get there, they have us wait in the cafeteria, like everybody is like in there, the security guards, like all of the kids, like just all bunched up while we waiting to go to our lockers. So it's like, okay, like just wear your mask, stuff like that, just be safe. Because you're waiting in the cafeteria. Oh yeah.
I don't like it, but at the same time I kind of do. I don't like it because I feel like it's just like too many people, and I don't like feel comfortable about like being around people during COVID, because it's like hard like steady having to wear your mask like during your class and all this and that. And especially if you got PE and stuff, you gotta have your mask on for that. Like you can't breathe. Like we sit in the classroom for like 8 hours, I think. Yeah, something like that. Wearing your mask all day and you can't take it off. Like, even if we take our mask off, like, just like this, something like that, they're like, put your mask on, or you gotta go to the dean. Like, they be so strict, but it's too much. I feel like they need to let us go back home. And then, like, they talking about we got cases and all this and that, so,
Okay, so I feel like if the cases keep rising, I feel like we should go home, because I don't know how to keep my mask on, but it be people that be dead coughing and they don't think to put their mask back up if they see they still coughing. And I got a feeling that people in my school, they gonna catch COVID, because the way it is.
For me, staying at home was good for me, but it was bad because I would fall asleep during the class thing, so I wouldn't know what's going on. But in class, everybody, I guess they so excited to come back to school. Everybody's in each other's face. When we come in school, we gotta wait in the cafeteria, then we go to the auditorium, and there's no breaks. Like, you're around people 24/7.
So, like we just all spoke about how COVID impacted us a lot, not just in our schools, but some for other people financially. And some people lost their jobs because of COVID and they didn't have any money. And some had to resort to, going out to pantries and stuff like that, and maybe getting multiple jobs to help provide for their families. So, as you guys know, we do have a food pantry here at the church where they get food in, and you know, they package it up and they give it to the people who are in need. So how do you feel about that, and how does that help the community? So anybody want to go?
Considering the community that the food pantry takes place in, it's kind of in a situation or a setting where it's that thing where, you know, African American people, we have to fight for ourselves and like help each other out, because if we don't, then our community is not a fail, but it's not going to be as productive as it could be because nobody else is helping us. So with things like the food pantry, like, I feel like in my mind it's really nice to think about that it's just all these people who are coming together to not only take part in it, but can be provided for with it. All these people with all these, not necessarily homeless people, but they have housing issues and grocery issues and financial issues. They can't handle like the amount of time and energy that goes into doing something like that every single week, because they're just not provided for by the state or the city itself. So they have to look out for themselves. And something like the food pantry is very fortunate that it's right there. And it doesn't only have to be the food pantry either. It could be the food pantry, be kids in our own neighborhood. Melody's sister actually has a thing that she does. What is it? Kiara's Care Bags, where she packs her own stuff and goes out to homeless people and she gives it to them. So it's like stuff like that where it's just nice to know that people in our community are looking out for each other, and even people outside the communities too. Does anybody else want to go?
Yeah, I like what Amon said. Stop laughing. I didn't even say anything funny. Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like food pantries and stuff like that is a really good backbone for people who are less fortunate. But it's just kind of irritating that we have to work for our needs instead of our wants. So I really hope, like, as we progress as a whole society, though I doubt it's going to be anytime soon, like, and definitely not in my lifetime, that we can get like our economy and our society to a point where we can like work for things that we want, like expensive, like more expensive clothes, like Gucci and stuff. Like I'd be more willing to pay for that than my food. I shouldn't have to pick between what I'm gonna eat next week and how I'm gonna get to work. Like that's somebody's everyday routine, and it's kind of sad. So I'm glad things like food pantries exist. And yeah, who wants this mic? I'm gonna give it to Aldrin.
I think the food pantry is really good for our community. I used to do it, and I love helping people that like have that are like they're less fortunate. They don't have food or clothes, toothbrushes, shoes, and yeah, I'm just happy that we get to do this.
Yesterday, we sent our camera crew out to see how the food pantry helps the community. Roll the clip. That was wrong. Today, we are at the Harvest of the World Food Pantry, one of the community's organizations, to document how they're continuing to help the community and what it means to them.
From Triedstone Church of Chicago. I run the food pantry here at the church. The church has had this food pantry for the last 19 years. We're getting ready to go into our 20th year. This is where we can serve the community at large. We take all zip codes in the city of Chicago, so that means we take zip codes not only in the city but in the suburbs. We feed approximately maybe about 110 people a week. And so it has been a blessing not only for our church, but it has been a blessing to our community. I am grateful to be the lead servant over this pantry.
Hello, my name is Elder Donald Adams Jr., and I am with the Harvest for the World Food Pantry. And I've been serving with the food pantry almost as long as it has been open. I think probably just 1 year short of the 19 years that the food pantry has been in operation. The food pantry serves our community, and we're here every week with the exception of a few Saturdays in the year that we're off. And it's been a joy. I look forward to coming to serve every Saturday. And so I just want to tell everyone that the Harvest for the World Food Pantry is a blessing to this community, and we're thankful to be able to serve. God bless you.
Hi, we are Teresa Mingo and Tracy Mingo. We are married. Food Pantry, we have been doing it for 3 years. That's how long we've been at Triedstone. We first started doing Food Pantry because we like to help. And Food Pantry needed help at that time. Then I grew to love it. And then I'm actually one of the co-leads of the Food Pantry.
Yes. I didn't sign up for this. I said I wasn't coming back. But I'm here every week. I don't know why. I don't know why Jesus loves me.
And just to see the smiles on the people's face as they come up and receive the food is just a blessing. And we get to know them, they get to know us, so it's just a fun environment.
Hi, how are you? My name is LaGretta Davis. I'm the lead server for hospitality, but I am a member of the Food Pantry Ministry from the Total Resources. And we are here every Saturday from 8 to 10 serving the community. So it's been a pleasure. I've been here, I think 9 years with the Food Pantry Ministry, and it is just rewarding every Saturday to help the community. Everybody needs a little help every now and then, and it's just a blessing that we're here to help the community every Saturday. We haven't stopped during the pandemic. You see, we're outside right now making it easier for the people to come by just to get blessed with the food that we have here. So, you know, our leaders are Elder Lynn Munson and Deacon Teresa Mingo have been amazing, and all of the group here, we're just one big happy Food Pantry family.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Triedstone Church of Chicago YouTube page and follow us on all platforms. That's a wrap. Listen to my rap session. Hey, here we go. Hey, yeah. Hey, we at church. Hey, we at church. Hey, oh, okay now. Hey, come on, Janisha.
Hey, yeah, I bet they come in love, y'all. Bye. How about pause this? I don't want to press that one and I press the wrong thing. How about pause this? What if I accidentally delete everything?